That vegan teacher, whatever seemed to happen to her? From calling people and comparing them to Hitler, stalking people online, making the most controversial content I think I've ever seen, being banned on TikTok multiple times, even making a song about us.
It is for a blaze.
And starting the most unexpected internet beefs with people like Gordon Ramsay. And most recently, nearly dying in a hospital in Italy.
Good morning from my hospital bed in Italy.
Today, we're gonna have a look and see where things went wrong for TikTok's worst vegan activist, that vegan teacher. Should she have remained banned? Should she have stopped being a teacher? And did she ruin her reputation by coming on to social media? Let's dive deeper. And we'll get right into all of the shenanigans that the vegan teacher has done. But before we do, today's comment shout out. And that goes to Hippie Skip High. Thank you so much for your comments. If you guys want to shout out in the next video, please leave a comment down below saying hello. I'll reply to every single one of you, and I'll pick one of you lucky ones for a shout out in the next video. Miss Katie. Well, she was born in Montreal, Quebec, Canada in 1964, which honestly makes her one of the oldest TikTokers who's done, honestly, in my opinion, somewhat of a good job keeping relevant, even in present time. I mean, she still uploads pretty frequently, but that's where the positives really come to an end. Pretty early on in the video. She made her TikTok account in 2016 on June 27th, and well, ever since then, things have certainly been quite controversial for her. Not before making some absolutely delightful songs with her ukulele.
You don't have to be mean. You can be vegan from now on.
I think I've listened to these so many times on my channel. When I would go to bed at night, I could still hear that goddamn ukulele play. As on the side of things of controversial, however, well, we've got quite the list. Her dog, to start with, Bella, is a dog that's been vegan.
I just got back from a walk with Bella Vegan Dog here.
Many people online have voiced their opinions and concerns for her dog, calling it straight up animal abuse, that she forces her dog to eat a vegan diet. It actually got so bad that people took to online and made a petition about that vegan teacher's dog back in 2020 on the 25th of June. As of right now, that petition actually has nearly 60,000 signatures, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. Some random influencer's dog online has that many signatures to get them to stop forcing it to have a vegan diet. Flying cars in 2024? No, we got this.
Bella's been vegan since August 2017. Look, she's doing fine. She's normal. She's a happy dog.
She claims Bella is more than healthy, but I couldn't help but notice making videos on her in the past, Bella looked quite tired all the time, perhaps not getting the full nutrients that that dog needs to have. She claims that all animals should be vegan. Obviously, this is a ridiculous notion.
My perfectly healthy vegan dog who has eaten only healthy vegan food for 3 years. This is the dog that you want me to feed the same way you feed horses. Well, guess what horses eat? Plants.
Then, with her ukulele, those songs started to become not so playful, asking people to change their diets and saying it's just as easy as changing your religion.
Time to change your religion like you change your underwear. Change your religion, show God that you really care. Change your religion, wanna try something new. Use your critical thinking skills to question all you eat, drink, buy, think, say, and do. Time to change your religion if it...
Obviously, that went down as well as you would think it would. For the vegan teacher, it seems like there's no line that can't be crossed. She almost thrives in it, I think, enjoying the attention. We've dealt with many people like this on the channel, And to be honest, whenever you question that, their reply is simply that it has to be this way. They have to make controversial statements and be this extreme to get people talking about the matter. But again, this has only furthered the public from wanting to listen to her. The songs, however, got even more controversial.
All lives matter, all lives matter, all lives matter.
With her comparing George Floyd being unable to breathe to animals that are in slaughterhouses, with some pretty disturbing sound effects in the background.
I can't breathe. I am an American man on the ground, a knee is pressed into my neck. I can't breathe.
Yeah, she actually made that. With her ukulele and songs as well, it seems like she's talked about many people. And while she certainly does have a good and lovely voice, if you listen to some of the lyrics that she's saying, it's honestly pretty damn disturbing.
Apparently Canadians are supposed to be all quiet and polite. Well, fuck that shit, that ends tonight. We're rising up to get an animal bill of rights.
And honestly, like most people after hearing that, are probably quite shocked and they just feel incredibly disappointed. I mean, she clearly has a talent for singing and she obviously has a good voice. Nobody's denying that. In fact, take this paper from 1999 that confirms that. With this article saying do-it-yourself artists, they didn't wait for someone to give them a break, they made their own, clearly praising that vegan teacher for her voice. But somehow, she used that voice to make music like this.
I can't breathe.
Wow. That has to be a pretty big fumble if you ask me. But don't be fooled, because the vegan teacher has also been quite controversial without her ukulele.
All right, let's look at a comment here that is in my comment section on my YouTube channel. This person says, the thing about her, meaning me, is that she only sees the bad side of people and not the good side. Like me, not vegan. I volunteer at an animal shelter every Saturday. Wow, what a nice person. So you volunteer at an animal shelter and then you go home to pay people to murder chickens, cows, and pigs, and then you shove them down your pie hole. Good work. I mean, hey, after all, I agree with you. We should always see the good side of people. For example, Hitler. Besides the fact that he murdered millions of innocent people, I'm sure he was deep down a good guy.
She's been known to compare eating animals to slavery and also the Nazis, comparing people that eat animals to Hitler. Oh, and if you think she's doing a fantastic job in making people like vegans, well, you can obviously think again. As in this one video, she claims that vegans are better than God. Yeah, a pretty bold claim if you ask me. And of course, nobody is safe from her as she has made countless videos. But let's name some of the biggest victims of that vegan teacher, shall we? Gordon Ramsay.
Eating animals is wrong, Gordon Ramsay. Hurting animals is wrong, Gordon Ramsay. Share this song, and if you call me a donut, that's fine.
Vegan
As long as
donut.
you're vegan from now on.
Nikocado Avocado.
Today we're going to be reviewing this video. Apparently it's about Nikocado Avocado. You know, that animal abuser who did a video about me, who actually claimed that eating vegetables is somehow unhealthy. Meanwhile, he weighs 350 pounds and is insane.
Actually, I kind of understand that one. Billie Eilish.
What the fuck is wrong with the world? You know what's a shitty thing to do? Killing animals for no reason. Calling someone a fucking asshole, not cool. Using swear words as adjectives and verbs in sentences, no problem. Wake the fuck up and be vegan!
And for some reason, Queen Elizabeth.
So I guess by now you all heard about the Queen of England dying. Now I was kind of wondering what you all thought about her.
Even people like Mr. Beast, who she initially blasted on social media for spending $70,000 on a pizza.
The largest slice of pizza in the entire world.
Again, you didn't say vegan pizza. You get another X.
Look.
And while that is certainly an absurd amount of money to spend on a pizza, he's also certainly done a lot of good things. But unfortunately, those good things and good deeds that Mr. Beast has done in the past with food charities, well, they're not vegan. So, naturally, that vegan teacher has been quite upset by that. These have been things that she's done as of late. Controversial stuff that me and you really know her for. But perhaps if we just take a step back and really get to know that vegan teacher before she came to social media and see what she's really like and get to know her. Of course, while searching online for a lot of this information, there are plenty of articles about Miss Katie. Some that are probably a little bit ridiculous, but let's just read through them anyway. So, Katie Karen Diekmeyer was born in September 24th, 1964, which would actually make her 60 today. It's reported that she may be allegedly bisexual, but this is often highly doubted. Katie actually worked as a registered nurse for 25 years before attending Concordia University. The hospital that she worked at was Lakeshore General Hospital. When she was at university, she studied to become an ESL teacher in French Canadian schools. She worked both jobs and eventually dropped her nursing career to work full-time in the school system. Now, some articles state that she left her career in 2020, but there's also other ones stating that she was actually fired from her job due to her tendency to promote veganism upon her students and pursued her online career shortly after. Katie often attempts to encourage and convince non-vegans to become vegan. She often makes videos in support of animal rights and veganism, and makes responses to those who have criticized or made fun of her. She also tries to encourage people to watch vegan documentaries like Dominion. Since she used to be a teacher, she refers to her audience as students, and frequently grades people based on their actions, a checklist to see if they support animal rights, and her general beliefs, an X if, well, they oppose them. Despite her hostile denouncement of Christianity and her atheistic and pantheistic worldviews, to encourage religious people who claim their religion does not support veganism to go vegan anyway, or to change their religion. She tends to have animosity towards anyone who isn't vegan or does not conform to her expectations, and calls people evil or animal abusers if they continue to consume animals and/or non-vegan products. She expects her students to meet specific criteria, showing vegan cruelty-free products, saying that only vegan foods should be in schools and hospitals. She also refers to the internet as her school. She believes that she can use any method to convert people to veganism because of the fact that she is vegan. But of course, there are certainly a few things here that strike me as a little bit odd. The fact that she was a nurse for 25 years, but yet still wants to promote this veganism lifestyle when there is an abundance of proof out there that you cannot live off vegan diets. And if you do, you must supplement. With vegans nowadays trying to create products to mimic meat, but just take a look at Beyond Meat stock. It's certainly not doing so well. Another thing that a lot of us find just extremely frustrating is having to watch a lot of the stuff being crammed down our throats. We're all for people making their own decisions and practicing their own beliefs in private, but I think once you start trying to make people feel guilty for not following your cult-like behaviors, well, it certainly starts to rub us the wrong way. And nothing is more telling of this than honestly the past 5 years of YouTube and TikTok. We've seen so many influencers at this point come and go trying to convince us to change our lifestyles to become vegan. Just like the other activists that we made a video on this channel, Vegan Booty. You guys can click here if you want to go check that video out, as we did a deep dive on her as well. And in some ways, she's arguably worse than the vegan teacher. But it seems as if no matter what we seem to do, we're just not good enough. And with claims as controversial as that vegan teacher's, saying that only she will go to heaven and that she is better than God and we are all Hitler, Oh, and just one more claim that I actually forgot. She did say coming out as vegan is harder than coming out as gay. Yes, she really said that in a video title on YouTube. Well, you're certainly going to start clashing heads with people online, and it is certainly not the way to go on trying to convince people. If you feel like you have a great idea and you want to share that, well, if it really truly was a great idea, you certainly would not have to try so hard to convince people. They would be more than willing to jump on it. Referring back to the Beyond Meat once again, it clearly wasn't as great as what people were saying. So with talking about that vegan teacher's past and present, where is she today? What actually happened to that vegan teacher? Well, she certainly still uploads quite frequently, but let's just start off with what happened pretty recently. As I stated at the beginning of the video, she nearly died. So uploaded on July 24th, 2024, with no additional context and comments turned off, that vegan teacher simply posts a video with the title, "The Day After I Almost Died."
Good morning from my hospital bed in Italy, where my husband is standing looking out the window at the beautiful scenery.
She states that she had eye surgery, but the doctors used a certain type of medication that she was unfortunately allergic to. And as a result of that, her heart actually stopped beating. Like I mentioned, this was recent, and she was laying on the operating table as she was drawing her final breaths. And like I mentioned, this was recently, while she was on a trip in Italy. With something as serious as this, and of course, I can only imagine how traumatic that must have been, I think you would be quite surprised to find out she actually follows that up with then in the next line mentioning that the food in Italy is not very vegan friendly, stating that her husband had to go out and grab groceries so she could eat like a vegan, and just how behind the times they are in Italy, which is kind of crazy considering the fact that she nearly died and now she is back on that YouTube grind. It's almost kind of respectful, I guess, but in the same breath, have a week off. Not everything has to be about veganism. But in all seriousness though, while some of the things that the vegan teacher does say and stuff she said in the past and videos she's posted have been utterly outrageous and completely offensive, and that's coming from someone like me who doesn't usually care about stuff like that too much. Of course, I do wish her all the best, and I am happy to see that she's completely recovered now.
Told him, come and say hi. So there he is. Thanks so much to all vegan fantastic people who sent me messages telling me they were thinking about me. It's time to go home now and rest. And I know many of you have told me that you think that this was God's revenge for me not believing in him. And yet many people also say that God helped me through this. I have a lot more to say about the subject of God and religion. I've tested God during the time that I was on the operating table and slowly stopping to breathe. I told him, kill me now if that's what you want. But apparently, my work here on earth is not finished. I'm alive, and I will fight even harder than before for the billions of animals who God has appointed me to defend.
And of course, that vegan teacher being religious is certainly not her strongest point, as she's uploaded countless videos since that whole ordeal just 4 months ago. And where is she today? Well, she does indeed still upload pretty regularly on YouTube and on TikTok. Her presence has certainly dissipated over the last few years though, as I don't think many people actually make too many videos on her anymore. Staying relevant obviously hasn't been her strongest point recently, with most people probably just getting a little bit sick and tired of it. I mean, there's only so many times we can really talk about a teacher who's vegan. I think that's probably why she goes down the route of making the most outrageous videos possible. Anything that she could slightly do to cling on to that last bit of being slightly relevant. While other YouTubers still mention her occasionally, like SunnyV2, which garner quite a lot of views, overall, not much is particularly known about her anymore. But despite that, she does still upload pretty regularly. on TikTok and YouTube still. Yes, she does still have a better YouTube schedule than me. It's kind of embarrassing to say. If you think she was insufferable, wait till you see her daughter. She managed to get banned from her own country. Not sure how you do that? Click here and find out.